Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. How's your week been? I hope you've been consistently achieving your daily goals and moving closer and closer to your dreams. Now in this video, my aim is to have a short workshop, a 5-step process and help you set your study goals for 2024. Just think about it. If you're able to set amazing scientific study goals for 2024 and if you're able to do that in a way that you will be able to achieve them, then 2024 is gonna be a transformative year for you, and that is what I want for you. Now, before we start with the video, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. This would help me and it would motivate me to make more such content for you. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe and comment below I subscribed, and I will reply to you with a personalized motivational quote. All right, so let's get started. Now, the 5-step process or the 5 steps in this workshop are listed down over here, which is number 1, set clear, ambitious goals. Number 2, identify possible problems. Point number 3, identify the root cause of these problems. Number 4, identify the solution or the system that will help you achieve your goals. And then step number 5 is execute and improve constantly. Now, again, these are things that I'm sure you must have come across multiple times in your life. Now, in this video, the way that I would go about is like, let's just go to step number 1. So we have Adam over here. Okay. So he's gonna work with me and my aim is to help Adam. So when I tell him each point, he's gonna actually write down some things about these points in an actionable manner for him. And I would strongly encourage you to follow along with Adam. So in this way, in a few minutes, just by working along with me for a few minutes, you would have set effective study goals for 2024. So let's get started. So the first step is to set clear, ambitious goals. Okay. Now always remember, goals are very important. Now, there are some talks out there that you don't need goals, you just need systems. But actually, you need both. You need goals because goals provide a direction for you. Goals act as a compass. So it provides direction. It helps you think about where you want to be, right? So it's very important to have goals. So in this step, take some time to set clear, ambitious study goals. We are talking about only study goals in this video. So do set clear, ambitious study goals for yourself. Now again, remember when you do this, don't limit yourself based on self-doubt or things that you're afraid of. So don't limit yourself, okay? And always remember, as we have discussed previously, hard goals are more effective than easy goals. So don't limit yourself and set yourself hard study goals, okay? Because hard goals are better than easy goals. And again, goals are a compass for you. They give you direction. So Adam, why don't you set a clear, ambitious goal for yourself, which is step number 1. And again, we're talking about study goals. All right. So let's take a look at what Adam has written down. Okay, so Adam says he wants to score 99 percentile in the exam that Adam is preparing for. Now, this is definitely an ambitious goal and it is very clear, right? So the exam is clear and the score that Adam is aiming for is very clear, right? So this looks good. Now, if you're a person who's having other study goals, take a moment and try to write down your clear, ambitious goal. Again, remember, hard goals are better than easy goals, and don't limit yourself based on self-doubt or previous performance or things like that. I'm sure if you have the right systems, you will see miracles in your life and you will have 2024, a year where you're doing your best in terms of your studies. All right. So take a moment and set clear, ambitious study goals for yourself. All right. So I hope you have done that. So you have clear, ambitious study goals. Now let's move to step number 2, which is to identify possible problems. Okay. Now be honest with yourself. Okay. Put ego aside and try to identify possible problems that would hinder you from achieving your goals. Okay. So remember, evaluate the current state to identify possible problems. Now, Adam, why don't you go ahead and identify possible problems? And we know your goal is to achieve 99 percentile in the exam that you're preparing for. All right, so let's take a look at what Adam is writing down. So Adam is saying my math fundamentals are not good. So Adam is preparing for some exam where math is definitely involved, and he's saying that his goal is to score 99 percentile, but then the problem that Adam has identified is that his fundamentals in math are not good. All right, so this is good. He has identified a possible problem. Now take a moment and also note down in your piece of paper the possible problems that you have identified that could hinder you from achieving your ambitious goals. All right, that's good. I hope you have identified a few interesting problems. Now let's move to step number 3, which is to identify the root cause of these problems. Okay. Now previously in step number 2, you identified problems or weaknesses based on the current state in which you are. So problems which could possibly hinder you from achieving your goals. Now in this step, which is step number 3, we want to identify the root cause. Okay. Or in other words, we want to identify why do these problems or weaknesses exist. Okay. Now a good technique to identify the root cause is to keep asking why to something that you come up with till you feel that you have reached at the root cause. Probably you could ask yourself why 5 times. Now in the case of Adam should be asking why are my math fundamentals wrong. So probably I did not study well. Now again, why did you not study well? So Adam kept asking why to himself until he reached the root cause for his math fundamentals not being good. Now let's take a look at what Adam writes in his notebook. All right, so he's saying that he did not spend time on his math fundamentals and he did not practice active learning whenever he was learning math. So this is good, right? So he has identified the root cause or for the problem that is hindering him from achieving his goals. Now do take a minute or take a few seconds and try to identify the root cause for the problem that you have identified in step number 2. All right, that's amazing. Now let's move to step number 4. Now step number 4 is to identify the solution, and over here we are going to actually build a system, or a system involves things that you can do on a day-to-day basis, that if you do that successfully daily, it will result in you achieving the goal that you have set for yourself. And we're talking about an ambitious goal over here. So let's proceed with step number 4. Now, in the case of Adam, because his goal is to achieve 99 percentile in an exam, things that he could design, and again over here we are designing the solution, right? So things that he could design are things like identifying the right study material, ensuring that he has the right environment where he can spend time studying on a daily basis, probably a quiet place and a well-lit place, a place where things are organized, and then identifying the time in which he's going to study. Probably he'll study early in the morning before going to office or before going to college, or probably he'll study immediately after returning from office. So designing this is very important. And then he's planning on how he will spend time relaxing on a weekly basis so that he doesn't get burned out. And then he had previously identified the root cause that he was not practicing active learning. So he has identified active learning activities like trying to recall what he has learned or doing practice tests regularly, etc. So he's identified active learning techniques as well. So over here, notice that he's designing a system that involves daily actions. And if he does this system in a consistent manner, it would result in him transforming himself and achieving his goal, which is the ambitious goal that he has set for himself in 2024. So let's take a look at what Adam is writing down. So we see that he's saying, I'll wake up at 6 a.m., study for 2 hours and take weekly mock tests and have weekly revision sessions. So this is interesting, right? So notice that he has come up with a to-do list over here, right? So this is a daily actionable thing that he has come up with. And then you have some weekly tasks as well. So daily or weekly tasks which attack the root cause of the problem. So if he does this, the problem will be solved. And if the problem is solved, he will be able to achieve his ambitious goal, which he has set for himself. Now, please take a moment and try to come up with your system. And again, remember, once you have your goal, over focusing on the goal does not help you get to the goal. Rather, what you need to do is, once you have your goal clearly set out, you need to design a system that once you implement the tasks in your system on a day-to-day basis, it would automatically help you achieve your goal. So that is what you need to do in this step. So please take a moment and design the system. And again, your system need not be perfect. Just have a good system to start with, and then we come to point number 5, where you can execute and improve constantly. So take a moment and design the solution based on the root cause that you have identified, and this will give you a to-do list or a daily actionable goals or daily goals, right? So take a moment and design those now. All right, we're back. That's awesome. Now we come to step number 5, which is to execute and improve constantly. Now, Adam says that when it comes to execution, he already has some things from previous videos on this channel. So let's take a look at his notes. So he says over here, daily stretch goals. So if you have not watched that video, please go ahead and take a look at this video where I discuss how you can set up daily stretch goals for you, which is a scientific way of achieving more with less stress. So yes, he has this covered. So he has designed the solution in step number 4, and he's just gonna implement in this with daily stretch goals. Again, quick revision: daily stretch goals has 2 parts. One, you have a smaller unit in mind. Like if you want to read a whole book, your first unit is read 2 pages every day, and then you remember to stretch yourself once you have achieved those 2 pages of reading. So in that way, you have hard daily goals, but you don't get frustrated or burned out as well. So you're having the benefit of hard daily goals, and then you're able to implement it in a way that the negatives of hard goals, which is like the likelihood of frustration and burnout, you're protected from these, right? So do take a look at that video if this is interesting. So step number 5 is to constantly and consistently implement your system which you have designed in step number 4, and then at the same time improve your system constantly. So you don't need to have the perfect system to get started with. You can improve it maybe on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. So keep improving your system and keep executing. So this is what will create miracles in your life. You will see that if you do this in the right way, you will see that you will achieve more in 2024 than any year previously. So all the best. And again, a quick side note over here. Many times we tend to measure how much is left to achieve our goal, and sometimes it probably could lead to demotivation. So there is an interesting technique that you can implement. So measure the gain, not just the gap. So there is gap because you're implementing only some things on a day-to-day basis, and it will take a long time probably to achieve your goal. But yes, you can measure the gain. You can measure the topics that you have covered. You can measure the types of problems that you can solve now. So there are various things that you're gaining once you implement your daily goals, right? So do measure the gain. It'll give you some satisfaction and happiness. All right. So this will help you enjoy the process, not just the end goal. So all the best. I hope this 5-step process will help you a lot, will help you significantly up your game in 2024. So do set for yourself clear, ambitious goals, and then identify the problems, identify the root cause for those problems, and then design a system, a solution which comes down to daily actions that you need to execute consistently to achieve your goal. And then step number 5, execute it with daily stretch goals and constantly improve upon your system. All the best. And my wish for you for 2024 is may 2024 be the best year in your life so far. All the best.